Boom shakalaka, the final countdown has begun for Bitcoin. How much worse things could get before they get better. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're taking a look at Bitcoin breaking trendline support. How much worse could things get before they get better? Before we get into it, guys, like the video, come join us on Twitter through Crypto Love, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Now, today, fear and greed kind of tapping close to neutral. Right now at 63, kind of similar where we were yesterday. The overall market down 3%. Bitcoin at 63,851, Ethereum at 34.90, BNB at 583, Solana 131, XRP 48 cents, Dogecoin 12 cents, Toncoin 707, and Cardano 38 cents. Now, Bitcoin continuing in this bull flag, if you can still call it that, if people are still bullish at all. We've broken two trendline support lines right now. Right now, coming up to this volume profile support starting about $63,500. You can see it bounced off of there just recently. Should that not hold? Well, we have a couple other scenarios for where Bitcoin could be headed, but it is possible that could hold. Let's see what these things have to say. As a matter of fact, last week, more than last week, Willy Woo was saying liquidations have started. If the next cluster of long liquidations provide more fuel to downward momentum, we could go all the way down to 62,500 to purge them all. And look at where we are approaching. 62,500 is right here, pretty darn close to where price is approaching right now. As a matter of fact, Bitcoin right now is tapping up the bull market support band. Now, should this hold? It's held a lot of times. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times already in this bull run. There was a fake out back here towards the end of 2023. But in general, this support band tends to hold. Will it hold this time? That is a great question. If we take a look right now, as we approach the short-term holder cost basis, which right now we are at 63.7, it says right here on this chart, it does appear, taking a look down here, that there might be further down to go before we reach that bottom seen similarly in previous post-halving bottoms. So there might be more room to run. Now, the big reason for this is, well, two-part. One, we can blame the miners, and two, we can blame degenerate longs. Because what happens is, after the halving, Bitcoin gets harder to mine. The miners that aren't profitable have to close and sell their Bitcoin. So that causes price to dump. Then we have all these degenerate 100x long players who go all in and lose all their money. And when they're covering their long, guess what? The price goes down even further. Now, it appears like we're not going to break all-time highs until more pain and boredom plays out. The bright side, though, that once this is over, price generally goes up. Now, how far down could we go? We talked earlier a couple potential levels. If we take a look here, the MVRV pricing bands, right now breaking the orange one, the half sigma at 67.8, the next line down that we have seen breaking when we break the orange line previously, well, that is roughly 54.9, so almost $55,000. Could we be going down that low? That would definitely be painful. There would definitely be a lot of fear in the markets. A lot of weak hands and shaking the trees. Definitely don't rule that out as a possibility for what could happen, especially over the continuation of the summer. Not only that, but we also have this bat harmonic pattern right here that, based on this, it predicts roughly $47,000. So we have $55,000 and $47,000. That would be roughly way down here about the 200-day moving average, which would be 55, and then 47. My goodness, you'd have to even break this very strong line of support down here to go even further down to pretty much off the charts. Things would get really, really bearish in terms of sentiment if that happens. But another likely scenario is just kind of sideways chop throughout the rest of the summer, looking like that could be best case scenario for Bitcoin. Is this a surprise? No. In April and May, we were saying, hey, sell in May, go away. That's what you do every year for Bitcoin, because with the exception of, I think it was 2019 maybe, where we had a summer rally, every other summer is just dismal for Bitcoin. Why should this one be any different? Bob Lucas here posting that, hey, right now Bitcoin is measuring up pretty well with last summer's consolidation. If we put the bar patterns over where we are right now, guess what? The next stop will be roughly $59,000 before taking off towards about September. So could we be headed towards that territory? Definitely based on some of the numbers we've discussed earlier. This part of the bull market, though, is interesting because this is where some people become impatient and others think the bull market is over. And this is generally the calm before the storm. This is the levels right before things take off in previous markets. But this one's different than every other one, right? I don't know. Maybe. We do have a giant inverse head and shoulders still continuing to form for Bitcoin. If the right shoulder goes down to the levels we saw on the left shoulder, that again would be roughly $60,000 territory. And then after that, well, it would push price much higher, past 70,000 to levels we have not seen before and will likely never see again. Just zooming out, looking at indicators like the parabolic SAR on the 2-month chart, this is suggesting there's still a long way to go in this bull market. We only have 3 dots here on the bull market bands. This was still well before we saw a peak in any previous cycle. We also have the log MACD on the 2-month chart, suggesting, yes, the cross just occurred. There's still a lot of room, a lot of positive room in the market. As a matter of fact, some predictions, I like these predictions because the numbers are high. Now, they may be wrong, but hey, a man can dream, can't he? End of year 2024 prediction, $150,000. Yeah, that's not great. People are bummed. I know, only $150,000. But 2025, $800,000. Yeah, when people realize they keep printing dollars and they can't print any more Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden scarcity sets in, yeah, I think that's reasonable. But then 26, 27, 28, we have the market crashes all the way down to $300,000. Oh wait, that's still 5 times more than it is right now. Now, while this may happen, may not happen, but you have to take a look here, because if you really zoom out, I like a longer scenario. I heard when I got into Bitcoin, somebody told me, hey, if you own 1 Bitcoin, you'll be set for life. And that's still stuck in my head for pretty much everything. And this chart actually proves it to be true. Now, this chart here showing that in the 2030s, you could retire and support your family with just 2 Bitcoin. But in the 2040s, which is not long after the 2030s, you could do that with 1 Bitcoin. This takes a look at the quantity of Bitcoin needed to retire on a median U.S. family income. This chart shows the median U.S. family income. This chart shows Bitcoin's price, and this is 4% of quantity times price. Well, that says by roughly 2040, out here, past the end of the chart, 1 Bitcoin, you could retire with a median U.S. family income. Now, granted, you wouldn't be buying Lambos and your watches and all that stuff, but hey, not having to work with 1 Bitcoin, that still sounds pretty awesome. So that's all for this episode. If you enjoyed it, like the video, come join us on Twitter, subscribe. Also, YouTube says you should watch that video right there, and you don't want to disappoint YouTube. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.